안녕하세요, 여러분. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Happy Chuseok to all of you guys out there. So for those of you that don't know, and obviously you can see that today is a little bit different. We are celebrating Chuseok over here in Korea, and Chuseok is a lot like the American version of Thanksgiving. This is where it's kind of a harvest festival and you go to see family, visit friends, and things like that. So today I decided to don the traditional attire. This is known as Hanbok. Hanbok is made up of 3 parts for the most part. We have the jogori. This is like the little jacket part. Chima, which is going to be skirts, and I have a very pretty pink one for today. And then we also have this one here. This is a special little bow, which I'll explain to you guys a little bit more about later, and also I'll show you guys how to tie it. So I also wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about the coloring that I'm wearing today. It is not only beautiful, but it's actually purposeful. So when we're thinking about the harvest, you're thinking about sort of bringing in food and flowers and kind of preparing for the rest of the year. So for today, I decided to go for the more traditional, more popular pastel colors. This is very typical Korean. This particular pink is actually representing a Korean flower type. So during the harvest part of the year, this is where the flowers will typically bloom from the dirt, and they look really beautiful. So typical colors would include pastels like blue, pink, purple, maybe even a light green or yellow. So with these are going to be the more traditional types. There are different tiers of hanbok as well. The most common type, or the ones that I like to use the most, were usually the more royal ones. They're typically donned with gold, and they're a little bit more ornate in design. So super, super cool. Today, for what I'm going to be talking to you guys about, we're going to talk about my hairstyle over here. We're going to be talking about things like binyeo, which is something that you guys will get to see me play with a little bit later. And we have this one here right now. This is called daenggi. I'll be showing you guys how to tie this one as well. So let's get seated and let's get started. Okay. All right, you guys. So I am actually wearing a petticoat underneath this, or a little like fuller skirt, so it is a little bit harder for me to move, so I do apologize. But hey, gotta respect the culture, gotta respect the beauty that went back into ladies' clothing back then. Let me finally catch up with you guys in the comment section. I haven't actually got to say hello yet. Hello, Mark. Welcome back to the chat. Hello, Shay. Welcome back. Good to see you. 25 Moonful. Hi. Hi. Nice to see you guys. Hello, Shannon and everyone. You look beautiful in hanbok. Thank you so much. I've actually got to wear hanbok a couple of times. This is one of the times when I've actually worn the more sort of townsfolk or civilian type hanbok. Like I said, there are a lot of tiers. So my favorite combination has got to be like the red and black one. It's got like all of this gold all over it. It's very ornate and very bejeweled. But right now, if you guys were to go to the palace areas, specifically like Gyeongbokgung, for example, that's kind of one of the major palaces here in Seoul. And because of the Chuseok holiday, it's actually being sponsored by the Korean government to stay open and remain open during the Chuseok holiday. So you guys are welcome to go rent hanboks as much as you like. This is definitely something that's really fun for people that are coming to visit Korea. And especially if you're a first timer, just do it. It's not weird. It's so much fun, and everybody loves to play dress up. But one of my favorite things about it is that they'll not only will let you pick out your own colors and your own styles, there are actually lovely aunties there that will do your hair for you, and they'll help you really kind of feel the dream of what it was to live back then. You can also go visit the palaces and some of the temples right now for free, so definitely a really, really cool Chuseok trip tip. So let's go ahead and get right into things here. So we've got a couple of these over here. Okay, so this first one you guys might recognize. I just want to introduce some of the accessories before we get into the how-to. This is actually a norigae. Norigae. So norigae is actually a little accessory. Back in the day when you were wearing the jogori, the jacket part, this little part right here is the bow that's supposed to act as an accessory, but some people thought it was a little bit underwhelming, so you could actually attach the jogori, for example, here, if you like, and then you get this very pretty little gold detailing. Some people also would attach it on their hori, which is like their hip area right here. Either or, it was a lovely little design. Honestly, I think more nowadays, these are used more as bag charms. With the recent sort of fandom popping up from K-pop Demon Hunters. K-pop Demon Hunters definitely has their own norigae. You guys can check these out. They are everywhere, and I highly recommend going to the palaces and getting a hand-painted one. They are beautiful. Okay, next up we have the binyeo. Okay, so the binyeo looks like this. We have two lovely little designs today. So these are actually little hair clips, or hairpins, I guess. So I have actually attempted multiple times before we started rolling the cameras to use these. However, I have a lot of hair. So if your hair is a little bit shorter, these might be a little bit more appropriate for you guys. But this is often used to tie the hair up in a bun. So I've actually attempted this before, but essentially you're going to wrap it around in the back, then you'll pin it in, and I will try it for you guys a little bit later. Maybe I'll get some on screen good luck. This is the one that speaks to me the most today, but these are, again, some of those decorations that really give that sort of feminine elegance and beauty, especially when you're dressed in hanbok. So really, really lovely, and looking forward to that. Okay, now we see something that's a little bit more convenient and a little bit more popular. We actually have these. So this is kind of a little hair band as well. This is something that people often use when it's hot outside. This is especially good for pulling the hair back, and it kind of sits on top like a little crown. Super, super cute. So definitely a big fan of this one. So now we're going to go ahead and get right into some things here. So I'm going to start by tying this this little bow right here. So let's untie it. Okay. So again, this is the joguri on the top right here. This is a two-part little vest. It kind of wraps around the front. We're going to start with these. So this gets a little bit difficult. I will admit I tried this maybe 30 times off camera, so I will do my best to bring it justice. So with these two, we're going to take the one on the far right, and we're going to pull it over. Okay. Then we're going to take it, the same one that we just pulled over, and pull it up. So now we're going to make this a little bit tighter. Okay. And then we're going to wrap this one around my hand like that. I hope you guys can tell I'm super focused. I really want to get this right. Okay, then we're taking the one that was over here. So this was the one that was originally on the left. And we're going to pull it through with your middle finger like this. Okay. And we should have a nice little square right there. Okay, so this is not the most secure knot in the world, but I've been told that it needs to be a perfect square. So I'm trying really hard. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I think that's about as good as I can get it. But this little one right here is supposed to be kind of a feminine decoration. It's also supposed to be easy on and easy off. So this is one of the ones that I think took me the longest. And next I'm going to be able to show you guys a little bit more about how they do hairstyling here. So I am going to take out my lovely little, what's it called? Daenggi. Daenggi. And then we're going to show you guys how to style this one. Hello, Shannon and everyone. You look beautiful in hanbok. Thank you so much. Have you ever dreamed of wearing hanbok in Korea? Yes. It was one of the first things I did when I first came to Korea. And I think I've done it 3 times since, which has been really, really fun. I never get tired of doing it because I get to explore trying all different types of colors. Some of my favorites, I've always kind of done a white joguri. But when it comes to the skirt, I've done anything from like dark red to black to orange to purple. I've done pretty much everything. So it's been super fun. Highly recommend you guys give it a try. It's the end of the Chuseok look. Not quite. I am going to be showing you guys a little bit about how to do the hairstyling. The hair decoration is really pretty too. I'm so glad you like it. Welcome to the chat, Tatiana. Denise Vega, welcome to the chat. So nice to see you. Korean traditional beauty. Yes. So if you guys want to know a little bit more about Korean traditional beauty, and this might just be kind of my personal interjection here, but one of the ones that I've really liked to watch as far as K-dramas recently is Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. Really great representation. It shows a lot of Joseon Dynasty beauty back in those days, especially when it comes to like the styling for the royals. Very different. Of course, it did evolve over eras like the Shilla Dynasty, the Joseon Dynasty, and so on. But for today, we're going to be focused on this look for today. Do the men ever wear anything special? Yes, men also wear hanbok. Of course, it's not a beautiful chima, which is a skirt. It's actually more of like a longer sort of dress top, and then they do have like a more baggy pants style, but they do wear hanbok. It is considered the same thing as far as when you would talk about it, and it's just inferred that it's different for men and for women. The color combination is so elegant. Would you go for the floral headband, a daenggi ribbon, or a binyeo hairpin? I do think binyeo is more my style personally, but these are a little bit small for the amount of hair that I have, so I think I'll do my best, but I can't make any promises that that's going to stay. The hairline is so perfect too. I love that show. It's so funny. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not a big fan of like the time period dramas, but I really enjoyed that one. So for my dad in the chat, Mark, you should definitely go watch Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. It's really, really good. And to the rest of you guys as well, feel free to explore all the types of traditional or period piece dramas. They're fantastic. I want to dress up like this on Chuseok. Definitely come to Korea during Chuseok next year. Take advantage of the palaces being open and then explore wearing hanbok yourself. Traditional plus trend, perfect combination. All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and give this a go. Let's just see. I'm gonna try it with this gold one here. Like I said, I have a lot of hair, so I don't know if this is gonna work out just right, but I will definitely do my best. There's a couple of different ways to do this. One of the ways to do this is to actually kind of twist your hair first, bring it into a little bun, and then put the pin in, which I'm going to attempt. Or there's the way that I do it, which is essentially just grabbing the hair, twisting it like this with your pin, and then you pin it like this. So a couple different ways to try it, but let's see what we can do. If it doesn't work out, get a larger binyeo, I think. All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna twist my hair. Okay. And I have to grab it like this. Oh no, okay, I dropped it. Let's try it one more time. All right, so twist the hair away from your face. Okay, hand upside down. We're gonna grab it and twist it like this. All right, please work. We're gonna go up, up through the hair, down past the scalp. Oh, that feels really secure. Oh, did I do it? I think well, kind of. Okay, so it's gonna fall out, but essentially it would look something like this. So again, I have a lot of hair, so it's a little bit too loose for me, but you get the idea. It would be sort of a really pretty gold hairpiece, which I actually think is really lovely. So, sad attempt, especially when you have as much hair as I do. But I highly recommend trying these. I have tried these all the times that I've passed them on the street before, and they're really, really fun. I do occasionally use a pencil to do this with my hair, which is not necessarily traditional, but definitely a way to give it a try if you haven't before. All right, so now I'm going to be showing you the main event today, which is how to style a daenggi. So this is what the daenggi looks like when my hair tie is not on it. It looks like a little tie, essentially, like a little ribbon. It's really, really soft. It's nice and smooth. But one key characteristic about the daenggi is it's actually quite thick. We're essentially going to try to create the illusion that there's multiple folds here. So it's going to look something like this when we're done. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go for that. But to get started, we have to actually separate my hair. So I am going to focus on doing a 3-strand braid, which is typical, but we're actually going to start with a French braid. So traditionally, these are done on both sides, so it would be like this, but I think for the sake of time for today, we're just going to do one side. All right, so I'm just going to grab a giant chunk of hair here. Okay, I'm going to separate it into 3 equal strands. Okay, and we're going to start by braiding underneath instead of over. This is actually a Dutch braid style. You can do a traditional French braid, but I prefer the Dutch braid style on myself. Makes me look like I have a little bit more fullness in my hair. Okay, so just keep going like that. Make sure to grab those front money pieces. Guess I can read the comments while I do this. I like the traditional binyeo style the best. Yes, Hanbok looks better when you tie your hair. I completely agree. All right. Forgive me for the split attention, you guys. All right, and I think we can do maybe one more. There we go. 1 or 2 more. I do have bangs, so this is a little bit choppy, but that's okay. Try to do it quick. There we go. So now I'm just going to kind of braid it as far down as it will let me, and then I'm going to incorporate the other strands of hair into a 3rd braid. Okay, so we're just going to grab it like so. All right. Now, with the other section of hair that I have back here, I'm going to split this one into 2 pieces. Okay, I'm just going to do this behind my head. Try to get it as even as possible. I think that's good. There we go. So now we have 1, 2, 3, essentially. So just grab anywhere and go ahead and get started. We're just going to bring all of these into one big braid. I'm not a master hair stylist, so Hanbok makeup looks so good on YouTube. Thank you. The mood completely changes with just one accessory. Multitasking at its finest. I am doing my best, I can assure you. All right, so I am not a master hairstylist, but I do think this is going to take the cake for now. So traditionally, if you did have more than one hair tie, this would be a little bit easier. But in the typical fashion of this show, I am a little bit under prepared when it comes to the tools. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start tying my hair tie. This is the important part though, if you guys are like me and you do only have one hair tie. Don't finish tying it, so I'm going to stop right here. Grabbing my daenggi, I'm just going to follow that crease that's right in the middle there. Okay, so it kind of comes already pre-partitioned. I'm going to go just beyond that, about a 1/2 inch, to leave a little bit of room at the bottom, like that. So you can see both triangles, right? I'm going to put it just above, and then continue tying my hair, but leaving that top piece out. Okay. Okay, so it should look something like this. Again, I'm not a professional, but something like this. So this is a newbie. If you're coming to Korea and you want to show people your stuff, this is what you got to do. All right. So once you get it tied, it's going to look a little crazy. So make sure you straighten it up. You can pull on your natural hair to make sure it's comfortable. Make sure it's secured. Okay, and then we're just going to fold it over, making sure that you cover the hair tie. You don't want the hair tie to show through at this point, because that would be not demure, not cute. Okay. So again, I am a first timer. If I can give this a try, you guys can definitely give it a try as well. I think that looks lovely, actually. There we go. So you kind of get the point. There should be multiple tiers here. 1, 2, 3, just like this. Okay, and then it should sit just right on the side there. So then after you've got everything nice and styled, we're going to loosen it up a little bit, or however is comfortable for you. I personally like my braids a little bit more shaken, fallen out. So we will go for that. So that's kind of our traditional hanbok look today. I really hope you guys enjoyed everything. Let's see, the curved beauty of hanbok is the best. I definitely love the bell shape as well, so I completely agree with you there. True Imani, oh, thank you so much. Wow, you know how to do daenggi. Yes, I just learned actually, like maybe not even 10 minutes before this. I did get a little bit of help, which is actually really useful, but I actually really like this. I think it's very cute. It kind of elongates the neckline, which I think is a lovely touch. I solved it well to suit my emotions these days. I'm so glad. Wow, we have so many new people. Alexi, shout out to you. I see Evelyn, Eddie, Alex Pereira. Let's see who else we got. Gabriel, Jimmy. There's so many new people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining today's episode. Happy Chuseok, everybody. I really hope that you guys are enjoying this time of year. I know that I certainly am. Back home for me, typically autumn looks a lot like fall colors and pumpkins and cardigans, but I think in Korea it looks a lot more like hanbok style. So you guys can decide which one is your favorite. Thank you so much for joining today. Don't forget the keywords that we mentioned. We have the daenggi, joguri, chima, and we have the binyeo right here. Okay, so hopefully you guys learned a little bit more Korean vocab today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and follow and subscribe, all the things. Also, for you guys, we will be changing the showtime as well. We're going to be moving to Tuesdays next week. I believe it will start at 4 o'clock, so make sure that you guys are paying close attention to Koreanet's updates and announcements, and they should drop the link for you guys as always. So just make sure that you guys keep that in mind. We will see you next time. Happy Chuseok. Mwah. Love you guys.